India's digital revolution has been nothing short of extraordinary. In just 6 years, UPI transactions exploded from barely 20 lakh crores in financial year 2019 to over 2 lakh 61,000 lakh crores in financial year 25, equivalent to nearly 80% of India's GDP. Every street, every shop, every chai stall went digital. Yet in the same period, cash in circulation quietly kept rising, now hovering around 38 lakh crores, nearly 11% of our GDP. The Modi government's promise to curb high value cash transactions has failed spectacularly. The parallel black economy, from real estate and construction to gold and political funding, still thrives, running silently alongside India's formal system. The grand objective of demonetization in 2016, to destroy black money and push a cashless economy, was never achieved. Instead, it triggered chaos. Millions stood in queues, small businesses collapsed, daily wage earners lost income, and thousands of companies shut shop. India went digital, yes, but cash never died. It just went underground and came back much stronger. India leads the world in digital payments. Every chai stall has a QR code. Every auto driver flashes a UPI logo. In August 2025 alone, India crossed 20 billion UPI transactions, worth 24.8 lakh crores in just 1 month. So, if digital is booming, why does cash still rule the streets of India? Let's break it down. Before I go further, here is a summary of some important data that you may keep in mind. India's GDP in financial year 25 was 330.68 lakh crore rupees at current prices, growing around 6.5% per annum. In the same financial year 2025, UPI transactions stood at 261 lakh crores rupees, that is 80% of our GDP. In August 2025, our cash in circulation remained constant at around 11% of the GDP at 38.26 lakh crore rupees. UPI began as a bold idea by the National Payments Corporation of India, a simple, free, instant system to move money between bank accounts. In 2019, it handled just 21 lakh crore rupees in a year. By financial year 24-25, that number exploded to 2 lakh 61,000 crores. That is more than a 12-fold jump in 5 years and equals nearly 80% of our GDP. But there's nuance here. The average UPI ticket size dropped from 1478 rupees to 1348 between 2023 and 2025. So the frequency went up, but value per payment went down. UPI is not replacing high value corporate transfers. It's replacing coins, small notes, and pocket cash. On UPI, there are two main types of payments: P2P, that is person to person, and P2M, person to merchant. Today, P2M dominates by volume, accounting for roughly 62% of all UPI transactions. But by value, P2P still leads because we send larger amounts to friends or family members. The revealing statistics: about 85% of merchant UPI transactions are for less than 500 rupees. That tells you UPI's real story. It's India's new wallet for small, everyday payments. Millions of tiny transactions, billions of micro moments. In cities, UPI is second in nature. Cabs, cafes, deliveries, even roadside beggars have QR codes. But Bharat paints a mixed picture. An ENY CII survey shows 38% of rural and semi-urban users now prefer UPI for payments. That's big progress. Still, nearly one third of rural users report transaction failures, poor network, weak devices, or no power. So when UPI lags, cash steps in. The government's rupees 1500 crore incentive for low value Bhim transactions has helped, but the truth is, in villages and small towns, cash remains the default fallback. UPI may have won the urban mind space, but cash still rules India's ground reality. Now look at the other line on the graph. RBI's latest report puts currency in circulation at 36.9 lakh crore rupees in financial year 2024-25, up from 32 lakh crores 2 years ago. Sure, the cash to GDP ratio has fallen from its pandemic peak of 14% to around 11%, but that's still massive for a nation that claims to be cashless. In absolute terms, cash continues to grow slowly, steadily, and silently. Observe this graph. The advanced countries with high GDP per capita have cash in circulation below 10%. US, Australia, UK, Sweden, and Canada all below 5%. For Hong Kong and Japan, the cash in circulation is above 10%. In BRICS countries, the cash remains less than 5%. India is the anomaly in this chart. Lowest per capita income, highest cash in circulation. And that's the real story most people miss or fail to understand. So, why does cash refuse to fade away? Five simple reasons. First, reliability. Cash never depends on networks or server uptimes or on power. Second, universality. Every Indian recognizes it from a street vendor to a farmer in a remote village. Third, informality. Half our economy still runs on unrecorded transactions, daily wages, micro vendors, hand to hand payments. Fourth, privacy and trust. People like the control that physical cash gives them. It's personal, instant, and invisible to the system. And at number five, economics at the edge. Digital payments may be zero MDR, but the phone, data plan, and point of sales device are not free. For a chai stall earning 800 rupees a day, a few failed UPI transactions can mean losses. That's why India runs on both rails, cash and digital together. So, where is cash still the default? Start with the construction and real estate. Industry insiders say up to 40% of small real estate payments still happen in cash for land purchases, labor wages, and under the table commissions. That's the heart of India's parallel black economy. Even after demonetization and strict reporting norms, unaccounted cash still moves in property deals, gold trades, and some political funding. Why construction? Because it absorbs a huge informal workforce. Daily wages are often paid in cash to avoid compliance, paperwork, and delays. Beyond that, cash dominates agriculture mandis, wholesale markets, and weddings, spaces where transactions are large but trust is personal, not institutional. Even retail and hospitality see dual billing, one for the record, one for the cash. Does this mean India still runs a black money? Yes, of course, but a smaller one. RBI and tax authorities believe the cash driven shadow economy has shrunk post GST and post UPI, yet it is not gone. Cash remains the lubricant for the grey zones of India's growth. So, this is not a battle between digital and cash. It's a partnership between convenience and certainty. UPI has democratized payments for the masses. It's fast, free, and frictionless. Cash continues to guarantee trust. It is immediate, tangible, and accepted everywhere. Before I close this episode, one more story worth telling. Paytm. In 2019, as cash was under stress after demonetization, Paytm's founder Vijay Shekhar Sharma ran full page ads showcasing the face of Narendra Modi, proclaiming, Ab ATM nahi, Paytm karo. It marked the moment Paytm leapt into India's digital payment spotlight. For the next 4 years, Paytm's growth was impressive. Wallets, recharges, merchant QR codes proliferated, and Paytm became one of India's first fintech unicorns. But then the regulatory pressure hit. In January 2024, the Reserve Bank of India ordered its payments bank arm to cease certain operations, citing compliance lapses. After that, Paytm's market share in UPI collapsed from around 13% at its peak to just 8.1% in May 2024. By comparison, competitors like PhonePe and Google Pay now dominate the UPI terrain. Why does this matter? It shows that even with the backing of India's biggest celebrity, Narendra Modi, getting an early mover advantage, regulatory oversight can erode a top position. While UPI boomed and digital payments surged, even one of the early stars can slide, reminding us that cash and digital both face vulnerabilities. So, as we chart UPI's rise, Cash's persistence, and Paytm's stumble, we see the full spectrum of India's payment story. Let's close with what that means for the future. As India moves deeper into digital era, UPI will continue to define the speed and scale of modern transaction, connecting billions in real time and reshaping how money moves. But cash will remain the quiet backbone of trust, especially in rural markets, small trades, construction sites, and personal savings. The coexistence of these two systems tells a deeper story. India is not becoming cashless, it's becoming cash and digital. The future is not replacing notes with apps, it's about reconciling convenience with confidence. Unless the informal economy is formalized, tax evasion is curbed, and institutional trust strengthened, cash will remain the true king of India's economy. UPI may rule the phone, but cash still rules the field, and together they reveal both India's progress and its paradox. So, next time someone says India is going cashless, just remember India is actually going cash and digital. UPI might rule your phone screen, but cash still rules the field. From mandis to marriages, from real estate to roadside chai, it's cash that connects India's old and new economy. Digital for daily life, cash for comfort, and that's why even in 2025, cash is still the king. Thank you for watching. I'm Ajay Prakash.